Hey everybody, welcome to 1 Bitcoin and 32 Ethereum. This is a competition show amongst the HardForking team to trade our way to that landmark of 1 Bitcoin or 32 Ethereum. Each week we meet founders of different projects, we make an assessment of them, we then either hold, sell or buy more of that project with the small donation that they make to us each week. primexbt have also come on board to support this, and we'll be using that platform for copy trading or for our own margin trading activities. So without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome to 1 Bitcoin and 32 ETH.
BTC and 32 ETH.
Welcome back, hard forkers, to episode 2 of 1 Bitcoin and 32 Ethereum. How are you fellas?
Doing pretty good.
Pretty good?
All good. All
Happy
good.
with life? Very good, yeah?
Busy.
Tough week.
In the markets, yeah.
Yep.
Long overdue.
On that note, let's start off with a laugh. Meme of the week from our very own Johnny Gonzo. Very good, Jordan. Very good. Our very own Jordan, Johnny Gonzo, came up with that one, people. It's getting a whole heap of traction on Twitter. So pretty cool, Jordan. What's it all about? Tell the people.
Call that one CZ Hotfoot.
Yeah.
So our man CZ, he's jumping into DeFi. And what happened? So the sushi chef, noobie, or whatever his name is, some anonymous developer, he did a soft exit. He sold a good portion.
What is sushi for people that have no idea?
Sushi is like, what did they forked YAM, which is a DeFi protocol. For
is it
lending.
yield farming or what is it?
Yeah, it's got yield farming, and then right now, they're yield farming. So everybody was jumping in to yield farm all this stuff. They had all these different assets you could use: Band and Link and KNC and Balancer and Curve, and so everybody's jumping in, everybody's farming it, and then the demand was going up. There was tons of volume. The dev said, "See you later." Took a bunch of money and said, "Okay, now I can just focus on doing the work because I don't have to worry about the price." And people, and then one of his excuses was, "Oh, well, Charlie Lee did it, so I can do it." And
very
then,
good.
Yeah, within minutes, well, a couple of days, I think the day before that, CZ had listed sushi on Binance. So the guy exited. CZ put out a tweet. Do you want to see it? He deleted it. I can show you if you want.
Very good. Well, now we've got a lawsuit on our hands from a billionaire. Thanks for that. Send it Jordan's way, CZ.
So what he says is, for sushi, I don't know who the founder is. If we don't list new DeFi coins, traffic goes to other exchanges, and we become ... obsolete. We should provide access to liquidity. We don't force you to buy.
Yeah.
So he's kind of contradicted himself there a little bit, because he's always going on and on and on about the listing criteria. And one of them is knowing the CEO. If there's any faults in the code, they can contact someone, someone's liable. So either, they didn't do proper KYC of their coins, or someone's bending the truth.
Yeah. Look, you're raising an interesting point there, Jordan. It's something we'll be talking about today is obviously doing your own homework. Not a financial advice show, people. You've got to do your own research. That goes without saying. I will be asking both you guys what your trading styles are. My big takeaway from this first week of the show has been, how on earth are we able to trade these projects and our own small investment of effectively in Ethereum with these gas fees? So that's going to be a topic of conversation here. We're also going to look at how we assess these projects, and our trading styles. We're talking about CZ and his centralized exchange, a CEX, We'll also be looking at the difference between CXs and DEX. I mean, Jordan, what do you prefer, DEX or SEX?
I always prefer SEX, but in exchanges, I like the decentralized ones. So, yeah, and
but you're mainly using
with your accent, it's even worse. Actually,
you're mainly using DEXs.
Currently, right now, no, I'm half and half. I use some centralized stuff because there's coins that you can't get. Get some margin, just like I do some cross margin, 3 to 5.
Okay.
I use IDEX, bit of Binance.
Yep.
Some really crazy shitcoin exchanges like Trade Ogre, Market Talks.
Okay.
Yeah.
For anybody new, we've made a series of instructional videos as well that we'll put links below. Bear in mind, all the material you need is there. Stefano, how's your week been?
Busy, stressful, all good.
Have you made a trade yet? Have you made a trade yet?
Oh, no, not on like our competition thing. I looked into a couple of things. I wanted actually to do a couple of things, but no, I just decided to wait and still waiting.
Sure. I mean, is the gas fees that we're going to talk about here, how much of an influence has that been on the fact that you haven't been trading? Now, as a business user of Ethereum, I'd really love to hear from you now about the challenges facing Ethereum currently. Is it affecting, obviously, your trading style, but what sort of impact does it could it have on your business as well? From a trading point of view, I'd love to talk about these second layer solutions, what they actually are, to help people new to the space understand that. And also from a business perspective, are they things that you guys are looking at?
Sure. Let me unpack that a little bit. So one, on the trading style, it's half and a half on the trading fees, because yes, it's true, the trading fees are very high, but let's remember that in the past week we also got like on crash market, and so if we're looking at the numbers, a lot of coins has lost in percentage more compared to like the ratio that I had on things like BTC and ETH.
Yep.
Therefore, at that point, you enter in a position where like you either got a little bit of like yield farming and stuff like that if you want to enter there, which it's basically not possible to be done with 1 ETH compared to the risk that there is involved. And on the other side, you would have to like do kind of like daily trading at that point, you know, and going like after that like 2, 3, 4% return, entering an exchange super fast, which I don't know how to do that. Every single time that I try to do that, I always lost money. So I don't do that. It's not my thing.
On that note, Stefano, I'm not getting off track here, but just quickly, what is your trading style? You mentioned in the intro that you're a position trader.
Yes. So what I do, I look at a trend. I analyze what a project is going to do in 6, 7, 8, 10 months along the way. And when the price is right, I just enter that with enough capital to get like on a good position as an holder of the wallet. Yeah. It's a big gamble, obviously, because sometimes like it doesn't work, and so you might exit the position after 8 months that you're down on like 70 or 80%. But it's so far the strategy that I found bringing home that like 50, 60, 80, 100x. And that's what I know.
I thought you were going to say percent, not X.
Yeah.
No, if I want to do like 100x,
you just got a huge following.
No, well, it's not that. Don't take me wrong. It's like, you know, you win one gamble, but you lose other 15. It's always like that. Yep. But to me, it goes like to the point of like, I like projects. I like the tech. I like all of that stuff. I'm not a fan of technical analysis. I'm not a fan of like being stressed on charts and stuff like that. Could I do that? Actually, I could. I have an education for that and a background for that, so I could do that. Yep. But I don't like it. It's not what I'm passionate about. I just like to see what is going to happen in the next year of a specific project, where it's going, and then I just enter and I wait. And
okay.
That's kind of
so on that note, people, Stefano's raised an interesting point there. If you're new to trading, to crypto. There's a clear difference between technical analysis, which is reading a chart. That's what we do on our Monday shows. Check those out. This show is probably more about the fundamentals of projects where we assess them. But I've obviously gone into XDAI, which is a layer 2 solution. Could you maybe tell the audience, what are the issues with Ethereum at the moment? Why are these gas fees so high? And what in effect are layer 2 solutions, and which ones, are you looking at?
Sure. So the reason why the gas price is so high and the reason why there is an issue with Ethereum is basically like the code or the way that Ethereum works, and super simplifying the numbers as well. Ethereum allows to have 15 transactions per second. Now, if you have more than 15 transactions, to execute a transaction, you need to pay gas because you need to reward the miners. If there are more than 15 transactions, then it's a bet on who is paying the most. And so the miners are taking first, obviously, the person that pays more because they are earning more money from there. Now, what we're happening is not like that we're talking about like, oh, it's 15 and we have 18 people, so I can go to the next one. But we start seeing like we have 15 and we might have like 150,000 of those people that wants to come in at the same time. So obviously what is happening is that competition goes up, 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 and so on. And then you got the craziness of DeFi where you got these insane weekly returns and insane yearly returns of like 10,000, 20,000%. And so people are like, if I jump on this boat as early as possible, I'm going to make more money. And so everybody's going there because if you are the first one, if you have a first mover advantage, you're going to make more money. And so people are like, okay, I'm going to increase the gas price, but my transaction is going to be before anybody else. And so I'm just going to make more money in the longer term. And so the network is basically just not working at this point. Let's be honest. Layer 2s are basically a layer on top of Ethereum. Now, let's assume that this is Ethereum and it goes like on that 15 transaction per second. Layer 2 is basically like a side blockchain that sits on the top. So the main actions and part of the activities are still going on Ethereum. But the majority of the transactions, the majority of the operations are on a different blockchain. So what does it mean? It means that you still have the possibility to jump between one chain and another, but you're basically using a different blockchain. So the gas price that is happening on layer 1, so on Ethereum, does not affect you on layer 2 as much as it would do on layer 1.
Okay. So obviously my first trade was into a layer 2 technology, XDAI. Obviously, being from a Bitcoin background, I've been following the developments on the Lightning Network, which is also a layer 2 solution for Bitcoin, but also for any blockchain. We'll put some links below if you want to learn more about this. But obviously, this isn't financial advice, people, but from your business's point of view and from a trading point of view, Stefano, are there companies that you maybe are looking at that you think Jordan and I should have a look at?
Well, one of those, you already invested there, so you did your trade there. As a company, we're looking at XDAI because right now it seems to be like the easiest solution to migrate if you have like a blockchain that runs, a contract that runs on Ethereum. Yes, there are like some debates around like the decentralization aspects of XDAI, the number of nodes that is not very high, and so on and so on. But I'm looking at the deployment aspects on that. I'm looking at like what I can do today when in a situation where we're now. I think I mentioned this in the past as well, but like we start seeing like a cost of deployment that is moving from like $40 up to $4,000. Now, it's basically impossible for companies to operate right now. Every single Ethereum entrepreneur that I know is looking at layer 2s at this point. Some names, and that's obviously like it depends on like what people are doing and which layer 2 could actually be the best one for them. But the most famous are definitely OMG, XDAI is another one. Looprim, which is obviously getting a lot of takers now. And there is a new one that is coming in that is still like on the test net, which is NEAR. And it seems that at the moment, the community is kind of like more in agreeing that that could actually be a good layer 2 available.
Now, question, Stefano, I'll just stop you there. For people that don't understand the space or are just learning about it, do these layer 2 companies require the Ethereum blockchain to work upon? If Ethereum didn't scale and has real problems, could these companies still exist, or are they codependent?
Well, they are dependent, because obviously like the part of the transactions and the activities still go on the layer 1 chain, so on the main Ethereum blockchain. However, if Ethereum doesn't scale, and let's assume that this becomes the new normal, that would not be too bad, because in reality, when you start having like 4 or 5 or 6 different layer 2, it's not too different on what is going to happen on Ethereum 2.0. The difference is that they're not going to be layer 2. They're just all going to be different shroud on the same layer.
Yeah.
But you know, in reality, if like all the NFTs community moves on one thing, all the DEX and the DeFi moves on another one, the business operations moves on another one. Yeah. The usability and the number of users are going to move on the layer 2s. They're not going to be any more on layer 1. So even if Ethereum doesn't scale, you will free the space to allow all those transactions from layer 2 to layer 1 to be in place and be possible.
Okay. Yeah, I think you described that well. Obviously, it's can be a difficult topic to wrap your head around if you are new to the space, but we will hold your hand in the coming months. Jordan, any comments on what you're looking at, given you know, this issue that Ethereum is sort of throwing up from a trading perspective at the moment?
The first comment is that gas is actually 1/4 of what it was last week when we were talking about this. Last week it was like 450, 420.
Is that because the market crashed and everyone went, fuck that somehow?
I mean, it's just traffic, right? So right now you're under 100 Gwei. So it's way, way, way cheaper now. So you could actually make a trade now.
Right.
It's not that, I mean, it's
bargain
like
prices. And cheap
I made a couple today, not for the show, but just my personal stuff.
Yep.
$4 or $5 to execute a Uniswap, and then it was like $3 or $4 to do some staking, claim some rewards and stuff.
Okay.
So it's not too bad now. It's manageable.
Okay.
And then the other, you guys are talking about like the layer 2 solutions, right? You can also look at it the other way, right? What if Ethereum 2 comes out quicker than it's supposed to, and it does better than it's supposed to? Then all this layer 2 investments, do they become obsolete? Do they become useless, right? What happens there? So you've invested in something that's basically just a middle step, right? So it's not a long-term investment. What do you think?
Well,
it's like you're investing in the Band-Aid, right?
For as much as I would like to say that I totally wish that you're right, I really don't see Ethereum 2.0 coming quicker than.
I'm not really, and I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm just saying, like, it's, you know, like this is the argument they always make against Chainlink, is that it's middleware, right? That it's not needed, and eventually it's just going to go away, right? It's the same thing with these layer 2 solutions. It's really just a Band-Aid until something else comes along.
I personally feel safe making the investment in XDAI that I have. My understanding is that Ethereum 2.0, we're probably looking at a couple of years. So for a financial investment right now, and the majority of the people watching the show, that's all they're really caring about. I don't think there's any great threat from that Band-Aid solution being irrelevant anytime soon. Would you agree with that, Stefano?
So there are a few points on that. We also made a video in the past about that. Everybody's talking about like Ethereum 2.0, but by the end of this year. When Ethereum 2.0 is going to be launched by the end of this year, is going to be phase 0. Phase 0 will not, in any possible way, solve the problem, because the only thing that you're going to be allowed to do on phase 0 is staking your ETH and getting your stake.
Hence the name of the show, people. 32 Ethereum to be able to stake. That's what we're actually up to here.
Correct. From there, you got phase 1, which is where the new validators are coming in. And so the different chains are going to be like set in place. And then you got phase 1.5. And only at that point At phase 1.5, you're going to be able to deploy contracts on Ethereum 2.0. So what Sean is saying is true. Like we're really talking about like a couple of years. You know, everybody's like 2.0 is going to solve everything. 2.0 is when it's going to be launched is not going to solve anything for sure, because you cannot deploy. So at that point, it brings like another topic. Companies that are currently working on the industry, they are now forced to migrate away, to use a layer 2. Or to go to another blockchain. That's also an option. There are companies migrating from Ethereum to Bitcoin SV, for example. So once you're migrating...
Jordan looked like you wanted to throw up there. We are going to have Bitcoin SV.
Yeah, but it's true. There are gaming companies that are doing that. Like, and the thing is that like when you're a company, you're developing for one blockchain, and then you get to the point of being forced away from there, and you need to deploy for something else. Ethereum 2.0 is going to come in place in a couple of years. Are you really going to migrate back at that point? Because while Ethereum 2.0 is going to like do the race to be stable and allowing people to deploy in 2 years, layer 2s are already there, and they're going to evolve on the side of like bringing the UX and the ability to actually like do more stuff at that point. So what I'm seeing happening at that point is that Ethereum 2.0 is going to happen. Yes, people are going to deploy. It's going to be great and blah, 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 and so on. But layer 2 to me are going to stay in place, because what is going to happen is that like solutions like MetaMask, for example, are going to adopt in a way that they're going to support multiple RPC, which are basically these layer 2s, all at the same time. So you're not going to be connected on one network at a time, but you might have like every single wallet that is connecting automatically to different RPC. And so you're going to be able to jump on one app to another, and one dApp to another, without even the need of understanding that you're jumping between one layer 2 and another, or Ethereum 2.0. And I agree with you. If it would come tomorrow, layer 2s will be dead. There will be no point whatsoever for that. But because it's so far away, I think that they're going to coexist at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say a significant part of my strategy is going to center around these layer 2 technologies. On that note, the show is a competition. We're trying to get to the equivalent of 1 Bitcoin or 32 Ethereum. I've made my first trade into XDAI.
How much are you losing?
Sorry?
How much are you losing?
I'm not.
Liar.
No, I haven't. I'm up.
You're up.
Yeah. Jordan, you mentioned that you've made a move into Chainlink. You've been harassing me about Chainlink for a very long time now. I did, in fact, meet some of their team at a conference last year. Here's a short clip of that. That'll show my level of knowledge. You hear a lot of people talk about Chainlink. So let's hear it from Chainlink.
Yeah, Chainlink's a decentralized Oracle network.
Okay, you've lost 90% of my audience already.
Okay, so a smart contract is just on-chain logic.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't matter what decentralized computation system it's in. It natively can't connect to off-chain data.
Okay.
So there needs to be a piece of middleware that connects it to legacy systems and APIs.
Yep.
And so that's what an Oracle does, or Chainlink, or a piece of software, a piece of middleware.
So you're sort of connecting all the different blockchains out there.
Well, yeah, to real-world data.
Right.
And even like off-chain messaging systems, payment systems, et cetera. Yeah.
So Jordan, I wouldn't say my knowledge is raced ahead further on Chainlink. Could you tell us why you made that trade? What are the fundamentals of that project? Why are you in? Why are you such a big fan?
Well, I mean, I was super bullish on Chainlink before DeFi. And now with DeFi going as crazy it is, like 95% of the DeFi projects are built with Chainlink, with the oracles that they use for their price feeds, right?
So that guy gave a description that people in the crypto industry will understand. Talk to an audience that just haven't. What's an oracle? Tell people that just simply don't understand that to begin with.
So if you think about it like a video game, you have your Xbox game, and inside the game, you're like, I want to buy this can of Coke, right? And you need a price for it. So the game is going to go outside. It's going to go to the Coca-Cola distributor and find out, hey, what's the price of a can of Coke? The Oracle basically brings that data in from the outside world, their ledger, however they track their prices, puts it into the blockchain, verifies the data is correct with a Chainlink node, right? So the company that has the data, Coca-Cola or whatever, they would pay for the security. It's all verified. The data is, what's the word they use? The data is confirmed and it's not manipulated, right? So then it brings the data into the blockchain, so people inside the DApp or the game can use it, knowing that the data is correct. So in all the financial markets, in the DeFi, all the crypto prices, all the crypto price feeds, most of the exchanges use Chainlink. So the growing crypto ecosystem, so much of it is built with the Chainlink technology of the oracles, which is built on Ethereum, but at the same time, Chainlink is chain agnostic. So they're also working with Polkadot. They're working with, there's so many other, they're not limited by Ethereum, but Ethereum is really gaining strength from Chainlink.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of my big reasons. And for me,
so obviously you've where this is sort of degenerate gambling to a certain degree, where I think, to make those big gains to effectively increase our position in Bitcoin and Ethereum, we're probably looking at some lower cap stuff. Obviously the two of us have made trades into not really low cap stuff. These are pretty well-known projects that we like. Are you confident you're going to see a nice short-term pump in this project? I mean, it's obviously come down significantly in the last week. Was that your rationale, or is it maybe something?
Yeah, I bought the dip for sure.
Yeah,
I bought the dip for sure, but I don't see the ceiling being anywhere near what it is right now.
It was less than $2. It was less than $2 when I spoke to those guys, and that the clip from that conference. I think we're currently sitting in the 12s, down from 20 a week earlier. Stefano, I know you've got mixed feelings on the price of Chainlink, and do you have mixed feelings on Chainlink?
No. On the product, I think is absolutely vital for the ecosystem and the entire blockchain industry. Like we use oracles for our company as well and for our product. It's essential. That's for sure. It's super important. The simple fact of converting how much is a Bitcoin worth. Like that simple thing of knowing, it's $10,000, whatever it is, that's a call to an oracle. So it's vital, it's everywhere. But my good part stopped there. I don't see that being worth what it was, that's for sure. And I don't see that being worth what it is now, to be honest. I think that the perception that I have on Chainlink is exactly what Jordan was saying. That is being growing and kind of going a little bit in FOMO because of DeFi and so on. And now I might be completely wrong on this, and I hope obviously that I am, because I have no interest if Chainlink goes down in price. I don't own any Chainlink. Any link, but to me it looks very similar to what it was like the ICO bubble in 2017. Going in FOMO on a specific thing that grows, and then just it goes down. Am I saying that Chainlink is going to go to zero? No, absolutely not. It's definitely going to be a product that is going to stay there. I absolutely don't see that being in the top 10. However, I don't think that it should be there.
Quick question before we move on to how you guys actually go about assessing projects, and I guess it's tied into this question. What barriers to entry for a competitor to Chainlink? Who are the current competitors? Does Chainlink do something magical that no one else has figured out what to do? Or what do you think?
Right now it's network effect, right? Early mover, first in the door, right? They've got adoption in basically all of crypto, and now they're moving into adoption with the wider markets. Your Google Cloud, your Swift, your all these giant, massive billion-dollar companies are setting up Chainlink nodes to run their data through them, right? So there's adoption in crypto, but then there's a real life adoption, and for me that's the most bullish thing about Chainlink, is that they're not just taking over crypto. It's they're taking over regular businesses now too.
Yeah.
So there's just so many uses for smart contracts. There's the term the fourth industrial revolution, right?
Yeah.
So smart contracts and blockchain, they have the possibility to just completely eliminate whole accounting departments, right? In these huge businesses, right? It's everything is run on a computer, all the data is entered, all the computation is done. You don't. So that's one of the really like big things that I see. It's like it's middleware, but all these huge businesses, they're not going to build their own blockchain and go through all the growing pains of building a fresh blockchain. So they're going to need to get their data into a blockchain for its benefits of security. Okay. Right?
Very good. Very good. Stefano, any comments on that before we move along?
No, competitors are coming up. There is
Big
Band,
ones.
there is
Sorry, who?
DAI, or I don't remember if it's DA or DI before.
DIA.
Okay.
Telor.
I like betting on the second entrant to markets. If you look at history, they're often quite successful. So who would you say is the major competitor to Chainlink right now?
Well, right now, the major in terms of like market cap, major, because that's the thing. There is like a huge gap between the two, but I would say it's Band. That's
Band is trash.
Yeah, but we're talking about market cap and current.
Yeah, exactly. No, we're talking about market cap for sure. It is second, that's for sure.
But if I would have to like put an eye on, I would actually go way lower, and I will put an eye on Dia at that point.
I bought.
On who?
Dia. Oh, you bought Dia?
Yeah, last week.
Checking it out. Okay,
TIA,
guys.
and then the other one is TRB, which is Telor, right? And Telor is another Oracle solution. I've traded that one quite a bit. It's another good solution. I would recommend both of those as your second entrance if you're still.
Audience, Jordan is, of course, talking directly to me. This is not financial advice.
No, don't
keep saying that.
Because remember,
that
Jordan is all about the tech.
Yes, exactly. Band is trash. I wouldn't touch Band with a 10-foot pole. There's so much dodgy stuff happening with Band.
Lawsuit coming for Jordan.
Hey, there was. Okay, well, earlier the sushi.
Put his address below for you guys. Make it easy.
The sushi. Remember the sushi thing we did? There's a Band connection there as well, right? And CZ. It's all kind of connected behind.
Once again, just personal opinions, people.
Exactly. I'm going to talk a bunch of shit about a bunch of products.
Okay. Right. So now back to the guts of what we're actually doing on the show. We are obviously trying to trade our way to that 1 Bitcoin or 32 Ethereum. Now, I just want to clear up. A number of people have asked me during the week, what happens if you're invested in other projects that take off and you find something you really like? I mean, of course, we're not looking to dump all these things and take just a Bitcoin or Ethereum position, not at all. We hope that through the course of the show, we'll uncover some real gems. Obviously, from a trading point of view, we will be covering a number of, quite small cap projects. So, when you hear us talking about Chainlink and XDAI, why haven't we got them on the show? First up, we will be talking to all these projects, but we think it's super interesting as well to really talk to some of the guys doing innovative things out there. There'll be some absolute horse shit that we'll cover as well. We're trying to cover a range of projects, and the reality is often these huge gains that can be made are in the lower cap stuff. So you're going to see a real variety of things. If we are covering a project, certainly doesn't mean we necessarily endorse it. We review them individually. We did that last week. We've got a number that we're interviewing at the moment. That'll be in next week's show. So now we're going to move into having a look what those initial projects that we reviewed have done price-wise. And are we, in fact, going to hang on to them? Are we dumping any of them? Obviously, it's been an extremely tough week on the markets for everybody. So we're factoring that into our thinking, I'm sure. But yeah, guys, let's have a look at the projects from last week. We've got PAMP, BONK, and DMG. So first up, guys, is the god-awful chart. Obviously, Bitcoin down nearly 15% over the week, sort of holding 10K at the moment. It's not been pretty. Let's find out how ugly it was for the projects we've reviewed. I think we're having a look at PAMP first. Jordan, what's it done?
30% down in the last week, but like everything else was down 30%. It seems to be pretty standard across the board. So got a little bit of movement here the last 24 hours, last hour. It's not bad.
Bonk.
Bonk. Last 7 days, only down 13%. Winner.
Almost a win.
winner, chicken dinner.
Holding strong.
DMG. I don't think this one's pretty, guys.
Ooh. Ouch.
Not bad.
The good news is, in the last hour,
We're up 0.6. Where's those Lambos, boys? Where's those Lambos?
okay, we're going to find out what we've done with the trades on those. Should we have a quick look at the ones that we did in fact trade though, Jordan, which you bought some Chainlink and I bought some XDAI a couple of days ago.
Oh.
Have a quick look at those charts. Chainlink.
Well, 26.7, not too bad.
Okay.
But we didn't make. I didn't make the trade exactly 7 days ago, so I'm only down 5%.
That was Sunday. On that note, people, there are links in the description to our wallets where you can see all the trades that we've made. We're 100% open here, so you can follow us if you really want to get nitty gritty into what we're doing between these shows. So there they are. But can we have a quick look at XDAI there, Jordan?
7 days, minus 40.
So now I made a trade on Sunday into XDAI. I do like this project. It's a long-term hold, more of an investment for me and my private holdings. But to be honest, guys, I think I'm catching a bit of the degenerate trading fever, and I'm quite likely to actually come out of that. It's something I've got my eye on. AMPL fourth, it's down 70%. It's something that operates at a bit of a range, and I think potentially it could be my next trade. So if you want to find out how that all plays out, follow the links below to my wallet. Right, guys, what are you doing with the projects that we've reviewed? Johnny, PAMP?
PAMP, well, I've been staking them. You know, I bought some more, so I've got 4.66 extra pump here. Let's see, I'll share quick. So I've got an extra 4.66 pump from staking. You guys have staked, but you're going to have 2/3 of that because you only have 200. With Bonk, I staked those. I have an extra 7.42. Whoa, I gained 1% in the last hour, which is pretty good. So that was 2 tokens that are stakeable. I spent the gas and staked them, and then we've got DMG, which is not stakeable yet. It's coming soon, right?
I believe, look, DMG, there's no sort of definitive news, but their overall timeline is that staking is on the way. And yeah, interestingly, they sponsored a hackathon with Chainlink. So, you know, they're putting themselves around. Obviously, very disappointing price movement over the last week. Let's just hope things improve there. So shall we have a look at what we're individually going to do on these projects, though? So, Johnny, what are your moves? AMP.
Hold.
Bonk.
Hold as well.
DMG.
Yeah, hold tentatively. Maybe it pumps up a bit, and I don't know. If we get any kind of movement, I'll probably sell up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stefano.
Look for an exit.
Stefano, Bonk.
Hold.
Any news from there? I think you've been following that closely. Anything?
Yeah, they have launched like the liquidity pool contest, I would say, where you receive like an NFT if you're staking at least like 2,000 bonk and the equivalent in ETH on their pool. They got a new partnership signed. They're about to ideally launch their NFT marketplace, at least like an alpha or a beta, whatever it's going to be. So no, a lot is happening on that project in general. I'm happy on holding, definitely, yes.
Okay. Holding, but possibly sounding like you may buy more.
Let's see, because like again, it goes like on that side of the 1 ETH. So to me, it's like 1 ETH is one card, is one play. Is that the play that I want to do? It's already in the portfolio, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah. All right. So PAMP, what are you doing?
Absolutely old. It's making money. We're staking automatically, so I'm happy with that.
DMG.
Let's say that I follow along with what Jordan has mentioned.
Thing is, it's almost not even worth selling anymore, right? It's like worth 0.17 ETH right now. So it's like, oh, we can sell it for gas.
Cool. What are you doing? Are you holding, selling, or buying?
Well, I'm obliged. I'm holding because like, what else do you do? We're down 60% basically.
Yeah, look, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. In summary, for all three for me, I'm holding the projects that we've reviewed. I suppose the interesting thing for the audience, obviously, I've spoken about my love of XDAI throughout the episode. This is obviously a competition show amongst us. I'm likely to actually trade that. I've got my eye on AMPL. As I say, check out our wallet addresses. You can see exactly how we make our moves. Here is a look at the leaderboard. The leaderboard. But there you go. That's pretty much the Wednesday show. Coming up next week, we've actually got a number of projects. We're putting a lot of work in the background here, talking to founders of different projects. We'll be doing another review show. We hope you learnt something from this show. The big takeaway for me is obviously been understanding, how these ETH fees have affected trading over the last week. Fortunately, they've eased up today, guys.
Yep. You guys want to take a look at gas station right now?
Yeah. Sure, and then we'll.
What do we have? Below 100, I think.
Yep.
Below 90, maybe even.
Yeah.
Makes it possible to actually
98, baby.
do something.
Oh,
trade.
80 on fast. 84.
Yeah.
Okay, not bad.
Let me just refresh. Yeah, 84 fast. It's looking pretty good.
That is like, if I may, like just 30 seconds on there, it's pretty good, especially like for people that are looking into like yield farming and stuff like that, because when you're starting yield farming, as also on the previous videos, as you guys have shown, you have to approve all of that different pools, and so you have multiple transactions. So overall on a gas price like this, you're probably ending up on $15, maybe $20 max. In USD price, which it's not bad compared to like 10 days ago we were seeing $120, $200 for the same process.
Yeah,
it's pretty right. I think is a good time to test out stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, excellent. So just in closing, obviously we're doing our best to educate you guys on the projects that we're reviewing, and B, how this whole market operates. The guys have put out some excellent material. There's videos there on how to use MetaMask, Uniswap, step-by-step. Jordan and Jesse made a great video on yield farming. All the links to those are below. Check back with the channel, set a reminder. We do make lots of content that is very educational. If there's things that you want to see that we don't cover, please let us know. And make sure to jump into our Discord as well. With some very interesting news coming up with regards to HardForking and Stefano's company. We'll be announcing that in the next few days. So listen, thanks for watching, everybody. We hope you're enjoying what we're doing. Let us know what you think of it all and how we can help. Say goodbye, guys.
Later,
Don't
dudes.
lose it all. Don't lose it all.
See you soon.
1 BTC and 32 ETH.